Alrighty, good morning traders and welcome to the Forex Morning Coffee Kickoff this morning here on a Friday afternoon. And yes, it is Preachy Friday. We're going to go ahead and kick it off with some trading opportunities that we looked at the beginning of the week, which wasn't too many, but we're just going to go ahead and take a look at the trades that we're currently in and recovering on. Remember we said a couple of weeks ago when we had that big sell-off in the stock market, specifically the Tokyo market, that created chaos for everyone. And then, of course, the US market followed suit. And we've been recovering ever since. All right, so let's go take a look at our recovery and see how we're doing. I'm going to go into the details. I'm going to show you exactly what it is, how the trades have played out so far. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look and see exactly what we're going to do with the trades we're currently in. Are we going to continue to hold those trades over the weekend and address it again on Monday, or are we going to go ahead and start taking profit on the ones that we are in the money? So let's go ahead and take a look. Hope everyone is having a good week so far and keeping safe. Very important, because if you take a look at the rate of the new cases here in the US, we're now actually the #1 country in the world, which is not a good thing to be when it comes to new cases with the coronavirus. So yes, we have overtaken China, and so we're at, I believe the last number I saw was at 85,000 and change. So it's not a good thing to be #1 in the world, but we are. I noticed that there's been I think 1,300 deaths so far. Yesterday was, I think, 900. So we've jumped about 300 deaths overnight in the last 24 hours. Not a good thing. Hopefully things are going to change. But I think the only way it is going to change if they really go ahead and implement lockdown. This where we still, people are still roaming the streets, doing things, and working with people, with a bunch of people. That needs to stop. We need to get this thing contained. And the only way to do that is to create some sort of lockdown like they did in China. We're going to have to do that if we're going to stop this virus from spreading. But that's not my call. All right. We have the leadership team in the country that's taking control of that, and hopefully they're making the right decisions. We're certainly going to pray about that. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on right here. We're going to go take a look at the market setups, and of course, I'm also going to go ahead and take a look at the way things are up. Drew says there Australia is up to 13 deaths. Well, that is not as many as what we have here in the US, but yes, certainly is not a good thing, is it? So let's first take a look at the news calendar this week. We did have the unemployment claims come out in the US, and there's no surprise to that number, right? I'm not surprised at that number, and I'm sure the market's not surprised at that number as well. There certainly would have been a bunch of unemployment claims, and we're not done yet. I'm sure next month is going to be equally the same, if not maybe even worse than what we have currently right here. So we did have the Bank of Canada. Actually, this just popped up on the calendar right now. We've got Bank of Canada coming up at stating that they're going to cut the rates 50 basis point at 9 o'clock this morning. It's actually, my bad. It actually took place at 9 o'clock this morning. So I'm actually eager. And by the way, this was not on the calendar for today. All right, that was not on the calendar for today. There was actually zero fundamentals out. This is why I always go ahead and take a look at the news, because there's always going to be something popping up and giving us a bit of a scare. And so far, let's take a look right here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the trading account, see how this has affected the movement. I've only got the Euro CAD right now. I've got no positions in on the Euro CAD. Let's see, Pound CAD, nothing on the Pound CAD here. And then on the, let's see what else, Aussie CAD. I'm holding positions on the Aussie CAD. You notice that we did come very close to our target right about here, where price was testing that level of support, which was previous resistance here at the top, just before our target level or target area right here. Let me see what else we got going here. So there was the profit target level right here. The price turned around just shy of that. We'll allow price to continue to move back up north. I haven't taken any profit on this yet. Let's take a look at any other Canadian crosses. And it looks like we've got New Zealand CAD right here. I've got no positions on the New Zealand CAD. And then US dollar. This is US dollar Canadian. I do have some positions in here. And yep, I've got some positions in here. And we're in the money on this. We're actually at our first entry point right here. Got two. It looks like I'm holding two positions. These were actually positions I added on myself. I did this. These two positions are actually, I think we have three right here. Let's take a look here. One, two. No, we have only got the two. And these were actually manually added on right here. So I don't have a lot of positions in on the Canadian crosses. And it is no surprise that we have gone ahead and cut the rates here in Canada. It's no doubt that they would follow suit with the rest of the world. So, yep, cutting the rates. They were the only, if you go down here, they were the only country that was actually at 0.75%. Every other country was down at 0.25% and lower. All right, they were the only ones that were actually at a higher level, and it was just a matter of time before they go ahead and follow the rest of the world, and so did they. All right, so this is the news. So that was the flash news that came out this morning. At 9:30, we have the Bank of Canada press conference going to take place. We'll see how the market's going to react according to that. I don't think they're going to get too much reaction because they cut the rates 25 basis points, which means that the Feds are really losing their or these central banks are really losing their strength in moving the markets. We're not seeing the markets move as volatile and as quickly as it used to when they go ahead and cut rates, or in fact push rates up. So we're not seeing that happening. Obviously, they lost a little bit of power to control the direction of the market at the moment right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the technicals. And before I get to the technicals, this is the dashboard that we're looking at for this week. We said that we had a low probability on the euro, US dollar. I'm going to go ahead and check this out and see if there's anything here that we can take from this. And let me go to this chart right here. And euro, US dollar. Flip that over. Interesting. Should be pushing this thing. My dashboard's gone. Come on. Alright, so this is what the euro US dollar looks like over here. You can see that price has actually hit its target for the week. We didn't have a trading opportunity, additional trading opportunity on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and call this a hit target right here. And this is going to be no trade. Let's go to pound US dollar. Pound US dollar also hit target this week. Again, this is a low probability trade setup right here, so we didn't expect much from this. So we're going to go call it a hit target. Also, a no trade on this one. Aussie New Zealand dollar, that was also a trade this week as well. And let's go to Aussie US dollar. Sorry, Aussie New Zealand dollar. There it is. That was a hit target as well this week. Go mark that off as a hit target. No trade. Aussie US dollars, the next one right here. And there it is there. And that was also a hit target this week. Go mark that off as hit target. no trade. And then here on the New Zealand Canadian, that should be down here. New Zealand Canadian, there it is. And that was a hit target as well. And then lastly, I want to go to US dollar. Oops. Got just to stick to Forex here. New Zealand, sorry, US dollar. Is, I could just type it up there, but that's also a hit target right here. So this week, there was no doubt we had them all set at low probabilities. We didn't think they were going to actually create an opportunity for us to trade this week. And there you can see no trading opportunity this week at all, zero. Now, again, we're holding in open positions on a lot of pairs. And we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what that looks like here on the larger time frame. Go ahead and refresh this. And I'm going to start off at the top right here. Let's take a look over here. These are the pairs that we currently have in open positions. Let's go take a look at, I'm going to start off at the ones that have, actually no, let's just start from the top. We've got some time. It is Friday. Let's go ahead and start over here at the Euro Aussie dollar right here. Ramkumar, yeah, remember because the loonie is already so weak with oil in the drum roll here or there is no is that respect at all? All right, we'll take a look and see what that looks like. So let's go to the Euro Aussie first and take a look and see what the Euro Aussie is. We'll get to the you know what? Actually, while we're on this, why not? Let's go ahead and take a look right here and see, why am I not getting this thing to bounce back up here? Are these things not working? That one works. There we go, finally. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Euro. And Euro Aussie, where am I? Come on, Euro Aussie. There we go. And I'm going to look at the larger time frame right here. And if I look at the larger time frame, we're definitely retesting the backside of this channel line right here. You can see right here as I drew up this channel line. Here's the bottom support level right here. Here's the top. Prices come back and retest that level once already a couple of days ago. And we're just pretty much range bound. Now, I am expecting a little bit stronger Aussie. So I'm expecting the Euro Aussie to go ahead and push south, just because I noticed that the Tokyo market is really doing well. If we go look at the Tokyo market at the moment right now, the Tokyo market is actually doing pretty good, considering. And I was also looking at the Japanese market. Japanese market also starting to recover a little bit. But there's the Tokyo market right here. And we can see that we've definitely had some increase in the Tokyo market. Let's go ahead and move to the actual chart itself. And there you can see right here, we certainly had quite a bit of recovery this week. Let's move to the daily. And it's going to close up a little bit higher today than it did close out yesterday. So we're definitely closing up positive today. In fact, today is, I think we're up 3.8% for the day in the Tokyo market. Oh, sorry, it's not going to, it's closed already, but we've closed up 3.8% for the Nikkei over the last 24 hours. So the last trading day, and so that's what it's going to close out for the week. Let's go ahead and take a look at. So this is the reason why I'm expecting Aussie to strengthen a little bit on this, actually strengthen quite a bit on the euro, and to push this pair down south. But that's from more of a fundamental point of view. from a technical point of view, I see price hitting the top side of the channel right here, this larger channel. You see the top side right here being tested. I could drag it up a little higher up here, about there, and so we're between the top range, or the top side of the range here, and the bottom right here of this channel line, the inside channel. So I'm expecting price to move below that. So I'm really looking and paying a special attention to this low right here. If we can break below that low, we're going to see price going further down south. So that's the low right here. I'm going to mark it off with a number here. Let's go ahead and give it a price tag. So big sellers after a price goes below this level right here. So I'm going to mark it off right here, and let's go ahead and use this text. Big time selling. All right, so let's go ahead and say big time selling right here, or these selling below this level right there. All right, so that's at 72. Give it a take a few. 75, 27. Geez, like, what am I saying here? 78, 27. 78, 27. Maybe a little higher. Maybe 78, 42. When it trades through that, we're chasing after 65, 71. All right. Hey, Sophie, what's up? So that's the deal right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next currency pair. And so at the moment right now, if you had to ask me what am I doing with the Euro Aussie, I'm pretty much going to continue to hold short on Euro Aussie and expect it to continue to move back down south. Let's take a look at the next currency pair. Next currency pair, we've got the US dollar CAD. We did speak about US dollar CAD, and there was obviously Ramkume had some concerns around the oil price. And yes, oil is currently at 21, so we've traded a little bit lower. But I don't believe we're gonna go ahead through the. If we do trade through that low there, it's just gonna be a spike and back up again, maybe around about $18 a barrel, and then spike back up again. But I believe we've hit a very key level of support. So we're expecting some sort of upside move in US oil. Now, clearly, if we are in some US dollar, Canadian dollar trades, then if we're expecting the oil price to push up, that's going to strengthen the Canadian dollar, which means that US CAD should go ahead and move down. So if I go to the US CAD daily time frame and I break this baby down here, then this bit of recovery that we're seeing right here is just a short-term recovery, or at least actually rally. It's not really necessarily a recovery because it's actually showing stronger US. So this little bullish move that we've seen in today's trading may just be short-term, because we don't believe US oil is going to sustain any lower price in the next few days. We definitely going to look for a upside move in US oil, and that would mean that if we're going to see an upside move in US oil, it's going to push US dollar Canadian bearish. Sorry, US dollar CAD bearish. All right, having a fun morning this morning, aren't we? All right, so this is the deal. It didn't take out the highs here at the top, so the 2016 high, we did not take that out. So therefore, we're expecting this to chase after what we're calling the confirmation point, which is down here. This will be our confirmation point for this trade right here. And that's very close to that 1.2 mark. Go ahead and label it right here. I'm going to go ahead and call it confirmation point. All right, there it is, confirmation point. And so what that, oh, snap. Let's go ahead and mark that off. There we go. Confirmation point, what is that? That means that if the double tops do hold, then we need to break through this level to confirm the double tops. All right, so if we've got double tops right here, then we're certainly going to look for the confirmation point being tested. So we're expecting price. Well, let's be realistic right here. What are we really expecting on this pair, right? What we're really expecting is price to at least come back to test this high right here. This is the 2017 high. We're expecting price to come back to retest that, maybe a little upside move, and then maybe come back down and retest this trend line. There's a channel line right here. This is going to be the support level for that channel line. But if it breaks through that, then we're on our way down to 120.52. Now, I know that these long-term and, we shouldn't count the chickens before they hatch type thing. Well, I'm not going to do that, but I am looking at the overall direction so that I know exactly what to do with my trades if I do pass these levels. So, the first thing I want to make sure about, by the way, is that I do have my cup of coffee in my hand. Absolutely. You've got to make sure your cup of coffee is in your hand. And the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is, if you haven't noticed already, I'm having a bad hairdo, all right? Very bad, because I can't get to the hairdresser. Lockdown is taking place. So I'm going to have to go ahead and use, by the way, this is my brother's cap. He's a professional golfer. He's got his own cap. You can see the initials up there at the top. So anyway, it's my lucky hat, all right? My lucky hat. So if we're going to go over the weekend and hold some trades, I'm going to have to go ahead and keep the lucky hat on, right? So the deal is this. If I look at the US dollar CAD position that I'm in right now, and I notice that there is still room for the market to drop further down south, then I am not going to start taking out my profit off the table right now. I'm going to continue to hold that position, expecting US oil to start rallying, US CAD to start going bearish, right? So we'll pick up some more cash on that trade as we head in, or at least our recovery. We'll pick up some more recovery on that trade as we're heading into the weekend. Certainly going to hold that position for sure. Let's take a look and see what else we've got going here. Now, we got another trade going over here. Let's see here. Move on to the next trade. Next trade is going to be Aussie USD. Aussie USD. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Aussie US dollar is going to be this one right here. We've got mega positions on that. So in order for Aussie to move north, what do we need? All right, what do we need if we want Aussie to go north? We need a weaker, stock market. No, we need a strong stock market, weaker US dollar. Right now, in the next minute or so, stock market's going to open up. We're going to take a look, see what the Dow Jones is going to flip over to. And we're going to go ahead and take a look and see how the dollar index is going to move accordingly. So we've already seen dollar index falling. This is not cool. All right. This is not cool right here. All right. That means we're going to possibly see some stronger move in dollar. We'd like to have seen, I would like to have seen the dollar trade through this level of support right here. All right. If it traded through the support right here, now I get it. You're probably saying to me, big dog, listen, whoa. All right. We're not done yet. All right. We're still in, it's still Friday. We've still got a lot of movement still left in the market. We've got the press conference taking place right now for Canada. There's still some action in the market. Don't get too excited yet, all right? Or too concerned. In this case right here, we do have an indecision candle right now that does confirm, by the way, if we do close out with an indecision candle at support, that is a very key level that price may go ahead and move back up north because of that indecision. Listen, when you get indecision candles forming at support and resistance, it's something you need to pay attention to, right? Because it's confirming those levels. And so when I see price move through this level of support right here and then then possibly go back up again, I'm expecting this level to hold. So if that's going to be the case, then what are we going to expect then? We're going to go ahead and expect price to move up. Let me go take a look and see. You see that high? That's the high that's causing that support for us right here, and it is a significant high. So with that being the case, this is not going to be a good sign for those holding on to dollar weakness, all right? and this could be a sign that maybe we're not going to have a good day in the stock market today, because of what we're seeing right here. This could be an early sign of what's yet to come in the stock market. So we'll check out the stock market and see what's going on. In fact, let's go take a look right here. Here's the futures market right here, and let's go ahead and update this. And did we just open up 3% down? Let's see here. Sometimes this doesn't update. Did we just open 3% down? And that is, if it is no surprise right here. NASDAQ down 3%. Sorry, that is S&P. S&P, the SPY is down 3%. NASDAQ down 2.5%. Russell down 3.75%. Nickel, of course, that's not correct. That's not totally correct. I need to refresh this again. This might not be updating. Come on. All right, there it is. Yep, it looks like it did open up 3.7%. Dow's down 3.7%. NASDAQ down 2.8%. S&P down 3.27% right here. So this is no surprise. I get it. It is the open, right? And so if there's a gap between yesterday's close and today's open, then we may still see some rally in the market in today's trading. So we did get the numbers come out a little bit lower. I believe that is the number right here. Hang on, someone's telling me that this focus is a little off. Listen, yeah, if your connection's a little slow, it's gonna give you not a very good connection. So this is where we're at right here. Let's go to the screener right here. Oh, not screener. Sorry, I want to go to the futures. Yeah. And so it is down. So we are down right now. VIX is up, which is obviously causing a bit of chaos as well. But here you can see dollar is starting to rally a little bit to today's trading. All right, so what does this mean? I mean, let's get to the nitty-gritties and find out what does this mean for us in our trades. Well, if I'm holding on to a position like Aussie US dollar, right? And I'm in the money on Aussie US dollar. Let's take a look and see where we're at. Here's Aussie US dollar right here. So I'm currently in the money. I'm up about 261 pips on the trade. And we're quite a distance away from our target. So this is what I have to go ahead and figure out. Is this, all right, is this going to be, and do I want to go through this, right? Is this going to be just a temporary rally, all right, as price retests this big bearish candlestick formation right here in the form of an evening star? Is this just a retest of that? And are we going to see the dollar index continue to fall back down to this level around there, which is going to create then an opportunity for us to continue to hold on Aussie US dollar because we're expecting Aussie US dollar to rally? I'm going to go to my Aussie US dollar chart once again, and I'm going to go ahead and make a decision off that. So let's take a look at Aussie US dollar. All right, so Aussie US dollar is also showing, and it's rightfully so, stronger dollar index. Yeah, it's going to push it back a little bit. So this is what I need to look for. All right, so I am at the support level right here. And if I was a swing trader, I would look at this and say, okay, there's still a bit of space below the low right here for price to move to. But we do have this channel like here, and it's come back to support the bottom of the channel. And we're actually trading up above this previous channel that we broke through. We're trading slightly above that. So there may possibly be just a very shallow correction before we go back up north. So I'm not going to expect a lot of, if you can take a look over here at the basket right here, we can see that Aussie is weak on today. All right, the last 24 hours we are weak on the Aussie. Dollar also seems to be weak, but we may get some sort of different move in today. I think it's worth us saying, let's stick around. Now, let me take a look and see where my first entry point is. My first entry point is around about here. And that is about 52 pips from where we're trading at the moment right now. I've got around about, let's see here, I've got another 290 pips to go before I hit my target. All right. I'm certainly going to go ahead and take a look what the lower time frame is telling me right now. And I believe we are still trendy. All right. There it is there. And so we are still trendy at the moment right now. All right. We're still holding inside. As you can see right here, I've got my upward channel. Do I see about 300 pips going up before I hit that level? Look at that. All right. So if we're going to go ahead and hit the top of the channel right here, I could go ahead and bring in a closer level of resistance, which is about here. And as you can see, that's about 252 pips right there. So we're in bullish. I mean, if you look at the 1 hour time frame, and to be honest with you, traders, I'm really paying attention to the shorter time frames right now. There's a lot of good opportunity with the smaller time frames because of the type of volume that we're having. You can trade with the lower time frames and still pick up some good money. So I'm going to continue to hold long, all right? And I'm going to be bullish on this, and which means I'm going to stay bullish on this one right here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit more technical on you guys, all right? Just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and move the fib from the first wave right here. I'm just going to see where that's at. Then I'm going to go to the second one. And then I'm going to go to the third one right here. Let me see here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and plot it right here. Now, with that plotted, I'm going to mark off this level right there. And that level is going to show us where price is going to move to. So I'm looking for price to at least move another 235 pips before I start shaking in my boots about taking profit. Okay? So that's where we're going to be on this position. So Aussie US dollar, I think it's a no-brainer at the moment right now. I think I'm going to continue to hold on that position and not make any drastic changes until we get that taken care of. All right, so I'm going to hold on to that position right here. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what else we've got going here. And I'm going to go to, what is the next one here? Let's go to, Euro Pound. Euro Pound slightly in the money on that one. There we got 7 position on that one. Let's take a look at Euro Pound. And Euro Pound is, let's see here. There it is. Now Euro Pound continues also on the 1 hour time frame, continues to give us a good trend going south. I'm going to go ahead and clean up house here. I'm going to make a slight adjustment here. And this is what we're looking at over here. So we still have a lot of momentum to the downside on this one right here. This is on the 1 hour. And if you look at the daily, we did come off those highs of that range, hit resistance there. We said, let's go ahead and start looking to sell on that. And we will continue to see price pushing down south. So we're going to go hold on to Euro Pound selling off. And I believe I did speak about the pound crosses. If you've missed that video, you may want to go ahead and check it out. I posted it yesterday on YouTube. If you missed that, you may want to go ahead and check it out. Let's go take a look here. It was this right here. Oh, there it is there. Right. Huge move, expecting huge move on the pound. There it is there. You want to check that one out there. Right? Make sure you go ahead and check it out. I spoke about the pound crosses, and Euro Pound was actually one of them, I believe. Let's see here. Towards the end, maybe. I think I spoke about the Euro Pound. Yeah. But check out the video. It's some good information right here regarding the pound crosses, and obviously expecting different movements on different pairs. So check out the Euro pound will continue to move down south. And do we have a target on that, or did I put were those manual entry points? Let me take a look here. Oh, we've just come into the money, so we've got a long ways to go before we are going to make any sort of decision on this. If I go ahead and pull this down, our target's all the way down here, which is still quite a bit down south. Yeah, we've got about 35 pips to go on this before we actually hit our target on that. Now, traders, I did say this before, and I'm going to say this again. I am just trying to recover. I'm not trying to make millions of dollars on these trades. We're going to recover, do a reset, and start again. That's the plan. And if we can by the mid part of let's say mid part of April, if we can be in a position where we've restarted, we've reset, we've recovered, and we're now moving forward again, that's a good a fast recovery period. So that's my plan of action right here. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what do we got. What else we got going here? So we're going to stay short on this. There's another one that's got quite a few positions in, and this is on. I want to go to the. Let's go to the pound US dollar, pound Canadian, pound JPY, and Aussie JPY. So pound US dollar, pound JPY, Aussie JPY. Let's take a look at those. Those got quite deep positions. In fact, I'm holding most of my profits in those three positions right here. So let's take a look and see pound JPY first. What's going on with this pair? Down, hit support right here. We're trading. Listen, I love it. I love it that we've come off a trend line support right here, which is a bottom of a downward channel. We're coming off that support. We're breaking through those key levels of support that have broke through, now becoming resistance that we're breaking through. So this is great. I'm very positively bullish on pound JPY. And I'm looking for price to go all the way back up to 140. So we've got another 800 pips or so, maybe 700 pips to go before we hit that level of resistance. So I'm going to remain bullish on pound JPY. I'm not going to do anything on this one right here. I don't know if we're getting close to our profit targets on the actual system itself. And no, I don't think so. Let's take a look. No, we're still far away from that profit target. So I'm going to just let it ride. And you can see our profit target is at the, 137 level. So we're going to continue to hold this. 137, that brings us just shy of this support that we got right here at about 140.69. So staying bullish on pound JPY. Let's go to pound. Let's go to pound. What was the other one? We had Aussie JPY. Let's do Aussie JPY first. Aussie JPY. There we go. And no different right here on Aussie JPY. I'm going to look at Aussie JPY here, and I'm seeing Aussie JPY certainly hitting support down here, and very similar. Yeah, we're getting a bit of a correction move at the moment right now. I'll be honest with you. I don't like this indecision candle right here. Indecision. I do like yesterday's indecision, indicating that okay, if the bulls aren't going to make it, bears aren't going to make it, then maybe we'll sit down in a bit of sideways ranging. So when I see that, I want to go to a lower time frame to see if I'm expecting some sort of correction. But if I look at the way the markets are moving, we've got this inside channel right here, and yes, there's still room for price to move further down south. I'm going to pay attention to this level right here. That level there is something I want to deeply pay attention to, because as price comes there, we're certainly going to get some resistance. And I'm also going to go ahead and pay attention to that level. All right. Now, the one thing that we have to also pay attention to is the break that we had, the gap that we had over the weekend. And so this is it right here. As you can see right there, their price closed out, their price opened up right here. This is the gap that price is going to fill up. So I'm already just looking for Aussie JPY to fill up the gap, to go to around about 70.20, maybe 70 on the mark. and then turn around and head back down south if it's going to go south. But that's the recovery I'm looking for at the moment right now. This could be just a temporary dip. And so if I go to the 1 hour time frame, take a look at the 1 hour right here, clean up the charts, draw in a nice little trend line here, get all technical, and oops. So this will be my trend line at the moment right now, and I know that in order for me to go ahead and make an adjustment to the trend line, we'll have to take out the high right here. Okay, so if we take out that high, let me go ahead and mark it off with a level. There we go. Let's do this. Take that out and put that in. All right, so we're going to take out that high. If we take out that high, then this will just be an adjusted trend line right here. And to be honest with you, this looks like a half decent trend that we can go ahead and continue to follow. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in some fibs right here down below. Match it up with this level right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, good. Now we need to go for 69.01. That's going to be my extension level that I'm expecting price to move to. So I'm expecting price to move up to that level, and it's going to come to the backside of that, the channel line here as well if we do have an adjusted trend line. Remember, this is a predictive trend line that I'm doing right now. This is not a genuine trend line. All right. So I'm going to look at something like that. Okay, for right now. Let's see, we have the adjustment. If we do have the adjustment, we should be good to go. So for right now, we're in the buy zone on the 1 hour. And if I go to the daily, let's flip this over to a daily time frame. I want to just take a look and see if we have any sort of resistance. I've got two ribbons here, a red and blue ribbon right here. We haven't tested the blue ribbon yet. And so if I do test it, that'll be my first level of support, or at least, sorry, resistance. And you can see there that the fib level at 69.01 is very close to that level as well. So again, expecting price to come back to retest that blue ribbon before I have any sort of resistance. So I'm not going to make any decisions yet. Still going to hold on a little bit longer on this. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see what else we've got going here. What is that other pair that I was going to take a look at? One was the pound JPY, US dollar, right? Pound US dollar. Let's check out pound US dollar. And here we go. Pound US dollar had a good solid rally to the upside right here. It's starting to stall a little bit, which means that price may be looking for a correction move. Now, from a long-term perspective right here, what I like about the pound is that we have traded above this level of support right here. So if we're going to see any sort of correction move, it's going to be a short-term move and then a continuation to the upside. So any sort of dips are going to be opportunities for buyers to buy back in again, because as long as pound stays above this level, and I'm going to go ahead and mark it off with a, I'm going to say, yeah, strong support right here. Strong support there at that level, and it's just at 1977. All right, 1977 right there. So 1.1977 looks like 1975, give or take a few. And if we do get a dip and then a rally back up, now I definitely don't want to see price moving back another 227 pips. So hopefully this is a very short correction move before price moves back up. Now, I guess let's see what traders do. Look here, all right? Everyone for themselves, right? Everyone for themselves. Whether you feel comfortable holding on to your position, if you've recovered enough to be able to say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to cut it short right now, get the heck out of Dodge, not look at focusing in anymore on these particular pairs, you can do that. You don't have to hold on. Listen here, if I actually go to my track record, and yes, here it is right here. Looks horrible. I get it, all right? And remember, we're in recovery mode. So if we take a look over here, you can see that this week we closed out with a bit of profit this week, but this month is still down. We're down 19%. In fact, for the year, we're down 14% because we're in recovery. But we're holding about 11% in open positions. So if you take 11% off that, we're really down about, take 11% off that, we're down about, call it 7%, right? We're down about 7% of that. Close to 12. Yeah, close to 12. Let's say 7, 8%. All right. So we're down 7 or 8% on our positions this month. And that means we've recovered quite a bit since then. All right. And if we recover majority of our losses, and we only are down 8% after all of that chaos that took place a couple of weeks ago, we're definitely on our way to recovery. So I said this in the beginning of the week, and I'm going to say it again, that we're not here to make overnight recoveries, right? That's not the game here. I'm not trying to make overnight recoveries. So as you and as I, both in sort of like a recovery mode, let's not get too greedy and too anxious to make back our losses very quickly. Because we're going to make profit this year. We're going to make good profit this year. And this is just going to be a bump in the road, and we're going to get through this, right? And so what we're going to look at, and this is what trading is all about, right? Trading is not really about a day-to-day performance or a month-to-month performance. It's about your overall performance for the year. How are you performing overall? And if we can do better than what the banks are offering, if we can do better than these high-yield investment vehicles that are out there, they are giving you returns or anything between 25 to 35% return. If we can do better than that, all right, then we're making the money work for us, okay? And so when I look at this, I know that the strategy we trade and the risk that I'm taking, not necessarily you, but the risk that I'm taking on this trading account gives me a rate of return of around about 6%, give or take, let's say an average of 5, between 4 and 6% return a month. So for me to be able to get back and recover back 8%, it may take me a couple of months, all right? Now, if we have a very good move in the market, we may end up seeing a lot quicker recovery, but I'm not going to go ahead and bank it. I'm going to work on the average type of rate of return that I'm seeing or have seen, and I'm going to work on that as a 2-month recovery period. Again, if I get a recovery period quicker than that, then bonus. But I'm not going to go ahead and push the envelope on that. So I've got to be patient. I've got to be realistic about the things that I'm doing here. Now, also don't want to get into a panic stage, right? And this is what can happen. You could look at your trades and go, my gosh, I'm in the profit, I'm in the money, let me just go ahead and cash out. And you don't look at it from a technical trader point of view. You got to forget about the funds and forget about the money, right? You've got to think about this as you getting into a trade for the first time right here. And if you were getting into a trade for the first time, would you be cashing out? Is the fact that you're in drawdowns clouding your judgment and making you make irrational decisions, not based on a technical analysis, but more on emotions, all right? And if that's the case, then you need to go ahead and just clean up completely and start all over again, because you're always going to be influenced, your decisions are always going to be influenced by your emotions. So I'm really looking at this more from a technical point of view, saying, yes, I do want to recover. I'm not trying to push the envelope, but I'm also being realistic about what the market's telling me from a technical basis, all right? And I'm seeing this and I'm saying, okay, if we're going to see recovery in the pound US dollar and we're going to move back, is there a possibility for me to start cutting some positions that I'm in the money and then look to re-add again if the market goes a bit lower down, all right? So add again to that, and that'll give me then a better return on the rally going up, because that's really what we need to do. We need to look at it and say, am I in the money? Can I close out some of the positions so I can add it on a little lower to make a bigger profit to the upside? So that's what I'm looking at right here. So let's go to the setup that I'm in right here. So if we're looking for a correction move in pound US dollar before it continues its rally, all right, let's take a look right here. I got 5 positions deep, and I think, look at that, I'm actually in all of them in profit. So I can do this. I can go ahead and move my stops up to break even on these first 2 positions right here, all right? Or I can go ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and close out these first 2 positions right here, and then go ahead and hold on to, or at least go add on as price goes ahead and corrects. So take a look. If I take these 2 positions out of the market, I'm going to profit on them, but I'm still going to chase after that target. But if price does dip down, I'm going to go ahead and add on to this position going up. Now, there's different ways to add on to position. You can go ahead and look at the technicals right here on the daily and say, okay, if we get down to support and support holds, then I'm going to go ahead and add on to that. or you can go ahead and look at a trading system. All right. I use Right Trader Max. And if I take a look over here, and I notice that price has come all the way up to my 1.618 right here, I'm expecting a dip and another rally. So I'm expecting price to do something like this, right? Come back down, retest my 200 EMA right here, bounce off here, maybe go further down south, test my trend line right here. I could decide to add on positions here, or I can wait for price to move back above my what I call my signal lines, which is the blue ribbon right here. If price moves below the blue ribbon and back above the blue ribbon, I can start entering here and keep my stop losses tight below the lowest low of the market, and then allow it then to move up to my targets, which is up the right up here to the backside of the trend line. That's a decision you have to make for yourself, right? It's not a decision I can make for you, but it's certainly something that traders may need to consider, all right? Now, I'm going to make decisions based on what I feel I want to do and what risk I'm willing to take on these trades. You may need to do the same thing before we head into the weekend. So remember, head into the weekend, anything can happen at the open. We've already seen 2 weeks ago how the Tokyo market, that sounds like Japanese, Tokyo market. Okay, I don't want to do that. All right, so the Tokyo market, right? The Tokyo market showed last couple of weeks that we've seen big gaps in the market. It created a lot of chaos out of a lot of pairs. We also saw U.S. oil gap as well. I think we've pretty much understood where we are with U.S. oil. But the thing is this, anything can happen over the weekend. So be very careful about what your decisions you make before the weekend. Go ahead and make decisions as to making sure that you're always protecting your capital. But don't do it from an emotional point of view, right? Do it from a proper equity management point of view. If you are over leveraged, snap. Shame on you, all right, for being over leveraged, all right? But if you are over leveraged, maybe then it's time to go ahead and start scaling out of positions so you can get into a position where you're better managing your account, all right? So you don't get into these emotional rides, because the first thing that gets people emotional is the fact that, look, drawdowns are part of trading, right? Drawdowns are part of trading. But the first thing that gets traders emotional is because they're over leveraged, right? The only time you're going to start throwing your computer out the window, and I only did it once, okay? So don't judge me, all right? But if you throw your computer out the window because you're over leveraged on the trade, all right, then it's on you, all right? You got to make sure you're not over leveraged. But when you're not over leveraged, when you have proper equity management in your trade, you can go through these drawdowns and still feel comfortable with where you're at, and still manage your position, still act as a trader, and still react as a trader based on technical analysis instead of emotional decisions. So very important. And listen here, it's Preachy Friday, man. Come on, it's Preachy Friday. I got to tell you these things, all right? Because it's important to know these things if you want to become a better trader. And so this right here was a great learning curve. Some of you a little bit harder learning curve, but it's a great learning curve. This last 2 weeks, hopefully the last 2 weeks has not only been, an eye opener, or at least if you've recovered some and you haven't blown out your trading account over the last 2 weeks, you're doing good, all right? But if you have got into emotional rides the last 2 weeks, then maybe you need to sit down and reevaluate how you're managing your trading account, all right? Listen here, traders, that's pretty much it for me. Have a good weekend. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Come back next week. Let's check out the market, see what's happening, and make some more good trading decisions. All right, this is the FX Big Dog wishing you peace, joy, and successful trading. Until next week, happy trading.